Hello and welcome to Math with Fateh, and we'll be discussing angle properties of a rectangle today. Alright, so children, I've drawn this rectangle for you all to notice some of the properties that are really important for you to identify when you solve these angles. So for me, I've seen regularly that most of my students they fail to identify the four right angles of a rectangle that are always there as part of its property on its corners. Because a quadrilateral always has to come equal to 360 degrees for its internal angles, a rectangle or a square always has 90 degrees corners. The next thing that I want you to notice, and I've noticed that children ignore, is that they ignore these arrows over at the opposite sides of a rectangle, which means these arrows indicate that these opposite sides are parallel to each other. So I would simply say that AB has to be parallel to the line CD, and likewise BC has to be parallel to the line AD, which means no matter how many times or how much you extend them, they would never ever meet each other. So roughly that what it meant. Okay, now in order to show you how you could solve a similar question like this, if you come across a question where they're asking you for angle properties of a rectangle or the missing angles, let's just look at a question which is really easy. All right. So I have a question which is asking me for the value of the missing angle x and the value of the missing angle y. How would I solve this? I notice this intersection in the middle, which I could just name as any alphabet. Let me just call it E. I know that the length of E to A is equal to E to B because this is the midpoint of the intersection, which means that this angle could also be classified as x. I would now say that the whole triangle would just simply come to 118 plus x is equals to 180, or I could simply write it as 118 plus 2x is equals to 180. Take the 118 to the other side, and I've discussed earlier with linear equations that the change their signs, and what do I get? 180 subtract 118 would give me 62. That means for every value of x, 62 has to divide by 2, and x is equals to 31, which means this missing angle has been found now. Now I'm looking for the angle y. Alright, I again know that this other triangle that I see on the board, the triangle ECB, is also isosceles, which would mean this angle is also a y, and the angle in the middle, it should be a simple 180 subtract 118. So 118 subtract 180 should be 62 degrees on this side. So I could just find out y by simply writing down the equation of a internal total of a triangle, which is 62 plus y is equals to 180, or 62 plus 2y is equals to 180, or 2y is simply 180 take away 62. 2y should come up to okay, I get a 118 there, or the value of a singular y is 118 divided by 2, which is, I get a 59 here. And this is how I found both my values for the missing angle x and y. Hope that made sense to all you children. Thank you, and thank you for watching.